What a way to finish my last Army ROTC FTX as an MS5 with a almost 6-mile ruck march. Waking up at 6 in the morning for it, and out at good old Cherry Creek, Fort Harrison. It's incredible to look back and see that the freshmen, when I was a junior being graded, were now being graded as MS3s on squad operation lanes. And it's a bittersweet moment, to be honest. There's two of us fives from Carroll, and both of us were either at water points where I was, or he was a roamer for land navigation Friday evening when we were there. And then we were kind of stationed around the TOC, which is the training operational center area for the whole weekend. And there we had the trailers where they loaded up rucks and the Cadre, and we had a new lieutenant colonel who's our battalion commander. And so that was a new dynamic for my final FTX, as well as some other Cadre there. And then even for my own campus, a new Sergeant Darko, his first FTX with us. So the whole program seems both reinvented, recreated, as I am now stepping away. And I had hoped that my legacy carries on through the program in the cadets, that I was courageous in how I want to express my faith and my joy of being there for them as they pursue their route to become Army officers, a role that requires sacrifice and love for not only this nation, but individuals and people and their future soldiers, to lead prudently, lead wisely, and lead with love. And so it was humbling to be on this side of it. As an MS5, we kind of just filled the need where it was, and so we had no real obligation to do or be anywhere. And so it helped me get a more bird's eye perspective on the whole operation, rather than last year as a 4 where I was making sure everything was on time as the executive officer. This year I was delegating to the 4s. I was watching them, see how they operate, and it went really well, I think. From land nav to the sticks lanes, where there were 4 lanes throughout the day, I was op force, the oppositional force, on an ambush lane that ended up having 15 rounds of blanks in my M4, so at least I got to shoot on the weekend. It was worth it. And I walked north to south down a road, got to see where they set up their ambush, if they initiated with a claymore, and then I would shoot back at them those 15 rounds and then die, and then see if they check me properly at their EPW team. But just reiterating that, got lots of downtime. I brought my binder out to do anatomy homework, to read for my AI ethics class, to read for my English class as well. And so got a lot done out there. Come in Saturday night and get back in our sleeping systems in the brisk weather out there, getting to just look at the stars. And in the busy college life, it's really, really great and really refreshing to just get away from it all, especially as I'm bombarded with med school interviews and med school applications, and like what's my future gonna be like, and how am I doing with classes, and what are the relationships like here, and just be like, put that on pause, look at the stars, like these are here for you to enjoy. And so I just got to stare out at the stars, and it was a precious moment. And then waking up for Sunday morning, and I got to leave a bit early with some other cadets because we have things to do here back at campus. But while the others go to the obstacle course and learn how to rappel, I ended up rucking out that distance with them, and it was probably the last ROTC ruck march I'll be a part of. In my time in Army ROTC, I've gone through 3 complete sets of Cadre and also met the 4th officer, starting with Captain Clark, who I met when I first toured Carroll, and he was leaving as the OIC, the officer in charge of campus here, but at least I got to meet him. And then I got to meet Captain Whitney and Sergeant Sunsteng, who were arguably the most formative Cadre in my life here as a cadet, because I got to experience them through my MS1 and MS2 years, as then Captain Cantrell and Sergeant Harriman took over for them going into my 3rd year when I was being graded. And Captain Cantrell will forever have a huge influence on my character and decisiveness, and just facing the challenges I had, not only as a cadet, but as a student and as a person. And Sergeant Harriman, with his medic experience, was someone I trusted and relied on for his medical expertise, as well as his own unique perspectives on what it takes to be an officer and what it takes to be a good person. And lastly, Captain Smith and Sergeant Darko. I remember getting off the airplane from my 28 days at Fort Jackson for my AMED internship, and Captain Smith picked me up with the van, and it was a complete change up from the Cadre of the previous season. And so that was a unique just transformation from being that 3 being graded to now being a 4 in command. And Sergeant Darko is the new Cadre this semester, and he is somewhat of a grandfather figure, to put it politely, but to see his experience is vast, and it's great to get to learn from him in these final days. And so, yeah, Carroll has had just a treasure worth of cadre that have made us the top 15% program in the nation. And I'm honored to be a part of it and to wear this patch, the Carroll Army ROTC patch, with pride and honor. So this has been an extremely formative 4.5 years of my life that has determined not only my future as an Army officer, but my future character, who I'll be not only as a doctor or in whatever profession I choose, but who I am. Thank you for this program. It will always be a part of me. As always, make each heartbeat count.